Can you survive in Project Zomboid when your only food source in the game is vending machines? And I'm happy to report that they were both empty. Oh my god. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sabouts, and today we're going to find out. So we're starting out like every Project Zomboid playthrough at the main menu, but this time we're not doing anything fancy. We're just going to play the game in vanilla. No mods, no heavy modified settings. We are using the most recent unstable build, which is build 42.10. We're going to be starting in Echo Creek. It's a smaller town, so I'm hoping it'll give us a quiet place to get going. I wanted to keep things simple, but I knew that there was definitive skills that would definitely give me a leg up. So I started off with the most obvious trait you would grab, which is Light Eater. I did also take Dexterous and Inconspicuous. They kind of go hand in hand. We're going to be hurting for food this whole time, so if we see a vending machine, we're going to want to go for it no matter what. Organized just kind of made sense. This is definitely going to be more of a nomad style playthrough since we're going to be needing to move around a lot to try and find vending machines. And then for my negative traits, I took Smoker and Fast Metabolism. Smoker is pretty easy because we're going to be searching a lot of convenience stores to find vending machines, and it's also another place where cigarettes are most likely to spawn. And then Fast Metabolism, which may seem counterintuitive, but how I understand this trait to work is it just affects your caloric intake and how fast you burn calories, which is linked to your character's weight, but not to the hunger meter, I guess. I mean, it seems weird, but the hope here was that we could actually use Fast Metabolism as a way to counter our character's weight gain, which he's probably going to incur by eating nothing but junk food from vending machines. But this one may come back to bite me later. So with all of that, the last thing we had to do was to make our character. And we were ready to go. Starting out, I spawned inside of a trailer park, so I guess video games imitate real life, and I noticed I had a pistol in my inventory. I think this has something to do with the unstable build, build 42. We're probably going to ditch this. Looting our starting area, we can't take any of the food that's here, but we do find some sheets that we rip into rags, just in case we got to bandage something up. And we also find our first weapon outside of the pistol, which is a saucepan. After that, I opened up the map, which didn't really prove to be useful at all, but I did notice there was new symbols we could possibly place, so could come in handy for marking vending machines we've already visited. We then found our first zombie of the playthrough and went ahead and introduced him to the back of Grandma's favorite saucepan. With that, we continued our looting until we ran into our first vending machine. Now, this was just a soda vending machine, so it wouldn't have any food in it, but we would take any calories we could get. We also went inside the convenience store and found ourselves some cigarettes, some lighters, and some matches. I was then looting a nearby house when I made the biggest mistake you can make in a zombie survival game. Not checking every room before you start looting. Was this really it? Was I going to die to my own stupidity? I mean, not that that would be any different than how I usually die in most of my series. So we go ahead and assess the damage, and it is a laceration. This does carry a chance of infection, so it could possibly end our run. But we go ahead and disinfect it anyways and bandage it up. Just going to hope maybe we get lucky here. But if we've learned anything by now, it's that luck is never on my side. We then notice it's starting to get late, so we head back to where we spawned into the game and start clearing some zombies out so we can make a safe place for us to get some sleep. We then find a key to a nearby vehicle and check the condition of it. Surprisingly, it's pretty good. Not great, but we can make it work. We do need to get some gas, and we know exactly where to get that. So we make our way to the convenience store and clear the zombies around it. We then grab the gas can, fill it up, and store it someplace safe for the night. We then went ahead and drank our only soda for the extra calories, went to sleep on an empty stomach, and hoped tomorrow we would find some food. We then woke up the next day and went ahead and grabbed our gas can and started filling up the car. We jumped in, turned it over, and drove down to the gas pump. Figured we would fill it up all the way. I wasn't too worried about zombies here. If they started crawling up out of the woodworks, we could just drive off. So with our gas tank fuller than our stomach, we set out on the search for food. I didn't bother to keep searching this town as I had already searched it the day before and didn't find any other vending machines, and I pretty much had a plan at this point to just drive in a single direction until eventually I ran into another town or some sort of large structure worth checking out. And speaking of large structures, we actually come across one, so we go ahead and park the vehicle and start inspecting the area. And wow, that's a lot of zombies. It's still pretty early in the game, so we decide to jump the fence rather than fight that many zombies, and we end up straining every single muscle in our body doing it. Yeah, we can't handle that. So I decide I'm going to leave when I accidentally pull a single zombie. And then a couple more. And then, yeah, you can pretty much guess where this is going right now. With zombies coming in from all sides, I realized pretty quickly that there's no way we can fight them all off. So I go ahead and make a mad dash to the vehicle. I expected nothing less. So we jump out of the vehicle and run for our lives. We cannot leave the vehicle behind. It's literally our lifeline. Without it, we will absolutely starve to death. So I start trying to clear as many zombies as I can and kiting them around to try and make a path to get back to the vehicle. And I gotta tell you what, it took me a lot of fighting and a lot of kiting around jumping fences to finally get it clear enough that we could make it back to the vehicle. I took off and started driving towards the nearest city. I knew if we didn't get a vending machine and find some food in the next 24 hours, there was a real possibility we were going to starve. I finally got to the nearest town and just drove straight into it, frantically looking for a vending machine, when all of a sudden... So with complete disregard for my safety, I jumped out of the car as fast as I could and sprinted over to grab the loot.
Nice.
After that, I drove the vehicle back out of town, found a safe place to park it, and enjoyed a snack to celebrate. We would sleep here in the vehicle for the night. I'm not entirely sure what tomorrow would bring, but at least we had enough food to last us another day. The next morning, I got out of the vehicle, walked up the road, and found an axe in a shed. A super lucky find. We then drove back into town and tried to hit up a school. But this turned out to be a questionable idea, so we needed to shift gears. There was a fire station next door, so I figured if I couldn't solve our food problem right now, I'd at least try to solve our melee weapon problem. There was too many zombies on the outside for us to clear, so we'd have to sneak inside. I was actually looting around on the second floor when I found a vending machine. Dang it. I guess it's better than nothing. I started making a little bit more noise, which drew in some unwanted visitors. We would need to move quick if we were going to get what we came here for. And the fire station delivered. We grabbed as much as we could, trying to cram it into our bag before the zombies ultimately started pouring in, and we had to abandon the fire station. We got a crowbar and 4 fire axes. Not a bad grab on top of some other things. Day 4 was all about food, so we set out to find some more vending machines. I was hoping for more, but we'll take it. I then found a second vending machine in a nearby parking lot, but it was guarded by a pretty large group of zombies, so we'd have to try to sneak in. Of course, I fumbled trying to grab the soda and pull some of the group, but eventually we do get it. After that, we cleared a nearby house so we could wash some of our gear, do a little bit of reading, and sleep in a proper bed for the first time in 2 nights. The next morning, we woke up to some fog, and rather going out and taking a risk in it, we decided to stay indoors and catch up on some reading to see if it would lift. And right before noon, it did in fact lift, so it was time to head back out and do a little bit more exploring. Out exploring, we discovered a SWAT van with a group of zombies covered in SWAT gear surrounding it. This was a really good opportunity for us to get a chance to grab maybe some good gear or some weapons, so we went ahead and started clearing out the zombies. We got a fair amount of guns and ammo from this grab, as well as some decent gear for our character. I then spent the rest of day 5 just organizing the loot in our vehicle. The glove box contained extra pharmaceuticals. The back seat had guns and ammo, as well as books. And the trunk was just full of everything else. So with that, we went upstairs and practiced our reloading skills until we hit level 1. We then went ahead and did a little bit of reading. Then on day 6, we went back out to get more food, which seems to be a reoccurring theme in this playthrough. Go figure. We found a park as we were driving, which happened to have 2 vending machines. And I'm happy to report that they were both empty. Oh my god. And a little ways down the road from there, we ran into a small gas station. No vending machines here, but we did have a gas pump and not very many zombies, so it'd be an opportunity for us to fill up our vehicle and some of the gas cans we had. Now, we didn't really need the gas, but hey, we got to take it when we can get it. The power could go out any day now, and once it does, it's going to be a lot harder for us to fuel up our vehicle. With a full tank of gas, we set out to try and get a full belly, or at least get something in it. Now, we started driving into the old map, so basically the map prior to the update, and I actually am pretty familiar with a lot of the areas here, so I knew where I could find vending machines, or at least had some better ideas where I could find vending machines, and I started heading that way. So today was a complete bust on food, but at least we got some gas for the vehicle. We're going to go ahead and hold up in this trailer park here for the night. There's a nearby factory and a storage area. Both areas have break rooms that I believe have vending machines in them, so maybe tomorrow we'll have a little bit more luck and be able to get ourselves some food. Day 7, and we're on our way to the storage area when I actually notice a zombie with a shotgun on his back. That could come in handy. We then made it to the storage area, and there was quite a bit of zombies here, so it was time to put some work in. So after a lot of work, we've got most of them cleared out, and we got nothing in the soda machine and pork rinds. So probably not worth all the work we put in, but I did end up getting the key to the storage unit from one of the zombies, so let's go ahead and see if we can find any loot in there that might make it worth it. And even though I heard the zombies in the rooms in here, that still didn't stop me from getting jump scared. Not once, but twice. And I didn't get a whole lot of good loot clearing this building, but it paid off in another way, because as I got closer to the door, it revealed a hidden vending machine. And inside, a single bag of chips. It wasn't great, but between the two vending machines, it at least made the extra work I put into clearing this area just a little bit more worth it. It did make me wonder, though, how many times I may have missed a vending machine in the past clearing a building, possibly a vending machine in a room next door or on another story. I guess that's kind of the nature of this challenge run. You're pretty much running on borrowed time the whole time you're playing, and you're just trying to get from vending machine to vending machine. It doesn't allow you to be as thorough as you might normally be, but I think that's what makes the challenge really unique, and a lot of the reasons why I'm actually really enjoying it. Getting into this factory, on the other hand, was going to be a challenge. I've been to this factory before in many Project Zomboid playthroughs, and it's always a great place to get some early game melee weapons, even the chance for a sledgehammer, but there's always a ton of zombies around it, and it can be a pain to clear them all. This playthrough was no different. There was huge groups all the way around, and after a while trying to find a way to sneak through them, I decided I needed to clear at least one of the groups to be able to make my way in. We finally made it inside, and I headed straight for the break room, hoping for a clean vending machine grab. But fate had other plans. What I thought would be a quick in and out turned into the most desperate fight for survival we've had this entire run. My heart was literally pounding while I was recording this. I knew just one wrong move or even a single misclick could end the entire run right here. That was close. And I really struggled to get in there and do any damage, but after a while they finally broke the door and I was able to clear them out. After we got done clearing them, we went inside to check the vending machines and see if the risk was really worth it. And honestly, it wasn't too bad. But it got even better when we were checking the factory floor and found another vending machine inside the building. And with that, we made it back to the car, celebrating a huge win. 4 vending machines in one day. 6 if you counted the soda machines. Easily enough food to keep us going for another 2, maybe even 3 days if we were to stretch it. So with that, let's return to the original question. Can you survive on nothing but vending machines in Project Zomboid? The answer is yes, you absolutely can. And we proved it. We survived an entire week. It wasn't easy, far from it. There were moments I was sure we were going to starve or die. But it was possible. And more importantly, it was fun. The constant pressure of having to hunt down our next meal, the uncertainty of food availability, it all created a tension you just don't get in a normal run. We couldn't just settle down, clear an area, and loot it for all of the good stuff like guns or high-end gear. Every move had to be calculated. Sometimes we had to sneak in and get out quick, like at the fire station. Other times we had to completely abandon areas when it became clear we just didn't have the gear, or more importantly, the time to clear them. If you're looking to spice up your Project Zomboid experience, to add some difficulty and flavor, I highly recommend trying this challenge for yourself. But that still leaves one question unanswered. How long can you survive on nothing but vending machines? Well, maybe that's a question for another video. If you enjoyed this one, please consider leaving a like, and if you want to see me push this challenge even further, drop a comment below and let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you next time.